This week on Kentucky Afield, Carp Madness 2 was a great time for our crew and the competitors.
Come on, guys, I need 14 more pounds.
We'll take a look at how it all unfolded during this multi-agency bow fishing event. Then, bow season is right around the corner. Make some room in the freezer and get ready as we're hunting deer. It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Yeah, we got one. Sweet.
Got a muskrat?
Yeah.
Good job.
What do you know about that, man? That's a good fish, man.
Nice male smallmouth, healthy, pretty color.
Cody, here. Find us one more good pheasant, Cody.
As biologists, we catch ducks and we place bands on them.
And it's just a really excellent place to see cottonmouths.
What do you think?
That was pretty fun.
Hello and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Many anglers and boaters are always asking us, what are we doing to control the Asian carp? And the answer is, we've got many projects taking place, and here's just one of our latest. It was just 5 years ago when the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife set out to remove as many Asian carp as possible from Kentucky and Barkley Lakes. A one-of-a-kind tournament.
And this is the first ever commercial fishing tournament anywhere for anything.
83,000 pounds, over 41 tons of Asian carp were removed from Kentucky waters by 15 commercial fishermen over the span of 2 days.
Some people had an idea that they were in there. When you see a boat full, that really stuck with a lot of people and realized, wow, there's a lot more fish in here than I realized.
It was a good start, but the threat these fish impose is still there and growing day by day.
Through flooding and escapement through other routes, they have worked their way all the way up to Kentucky, all the way up through Illinois. Everybody's worried about these fish. They're moving quickly.
Kentucky remains at the forefront of the fight against these invasive fish. So 2018 brings another effort to extract as many Asian carp as possible. It's time for Carp Madness 2. Here we are for Carp Madness 2.
Right.
This is a lot different than our last Carp Madness event, isn't it?
Right. This one here is a bow fishing tournament, where our last one was a commercial fishing tournament.
Bow fishing, per boat, we may not get as many fish, but you don't have to be a commercial fisherman to get into this. We got a lot more registrants, right?
Right. A lot of people bow fish for a hobby. If you see some of the rigs out here, a lot of money in these rigs.
Yeah.
So we've got people coming down from all over the place to do this. Bow fishing is pretty big, actually.
We come down here about 2 or 3 times a year. We try to. We have a good time, so we try to come down here and get the big fish.
You can shoot fish with any bow out there. It doesn't matter. A lot of guys use old hunting bows. Some people go out and buy $800 bows just to shoot fish. It doesn't matter. You can use them all.
So to put an event on like this today, tell me a little bit about who all's involved to do this.
You know, the first one we had, the League of Kentucky Sportsmen gave us, I think, $5,000 towards the sponsorship. This time, we actually reached out to Tennessee. The TWRA provided $7,500.
I happened to be talking to Ron about carp as usual, and he said, yeah, we're doing this. I said, well, why are we just doing it in Tennessee or Kentucky? Let's get Tennessee involved. And so we added some sponsorship, and we got some people out here helping too. Our
department put $15,000 in it. The Fish and Wildlife Foundation is pretty much sponsored. They're handling the money. And the BAA, Bow Fishing Association of America. So it's a real partnership in putting this all together.
Well, I want to welcome all you folks at Kentucky.
So we're getting really close to boat launch. Tell me the process on what time they go and how long does this event last?
There's 2 divisions. There's a river division and a lake division. And they will, in order of registration, leave here and go to whatever boat ramps they're going to launch at. They'll fish from 7 o'clock at night and they'll weigh in at 7 in the morning.
This is my friend's boat. It's a 2084, huge, comes in handy, especially these tournaments where you shoot unlimited amount of number. You're going to have over 1,000 pounds of fish to win it, so you need a pretty big boat.
And that's the good thing about this event. This is all about total pounds, just
Right.
absolute, as many as you can get out of the water. We don't care if the fish is this big, or as long as you and I, we want them out of the water.
We want to fill that semi-truck back behind me.
That's exactly right.
We only want the Asian carp coming back in here because that's what they're taking, okay? If you shoot anything else, we don't want it to come in.
This is my first big tournament anyway, so I'd just like for us to get on the fish, and you know, we're here to have a good time. So if we have fun doing what we do, and to see all these nice boats out here and some of these bigger teams, to see the amount of fish taken at the end of the night, that'll be fun to see.
This isn't about the tournament. It's about us trying to remove as many fish as we can, okay? We can literally remember back in the day when you would go below the dams and there'd be 1 or 2 boats and you would hardly ever see a silver carp. You hardly would ever see a silver carp on the lakes at all.
What we got to do is get more fish out of the water by getting more fishermen here. And the only way to do that is to let everybody know that we got this problem and it's gotten to the place it has now, which is very kind of dire. And so it's time to pull all stops out.
Shortly after the launch of Carp Madness 2, Mother Nature decided to put on her own show, forcing most competitors to find shelter for nearly 2 hours. But after the skies cleared, 81 bow fishing teams get back to the business of shooting Asian carp. Tell me a little bit about Asian carp here in Kentucky.
Okay, so Asian carp, and especially in these 2 reservoirs, have taken off big time even since I've been here since 2009. What we had feared all along has finally happened in that the population has just exploded.
Just in the last 3 years, the Asian carp have become such a huge problem. They're starting to hit not just the people who fish on these lakes, but anybody here recreationally.
Carp are feeding at the bottom of the food chain, and they're taking all that, have the potential to take all that biomass out of the system. In great numbers, they can do a lot of damage to this ecosystem, and that includes all the sport fish, all the other fish that we care about.
Oh, dude, they're at 18 feet right now. Look at them. Dude, there are so many fish down there.
They're everywhere, but they're more concentrated on the tailwaters because it's not as large a body of water.
Don't get it crazy up in the corner because they're gonna jump like crazy.
They're really big on the current, of course, so right against the dam is the best place to find them. You can find them downstream, but we've always found just more numbers against the dams.
Oh, I got mine. It's really affecting the grass carp, buffalo. I know they're really affecting the paddlefish as far as like the zooplankton they eat and whatnot.
Dude, mine's running like a son of a gun.
But the bottom line is we're just not getting enough harvest. So what this does is kind of like Carp Madness 1 is it reminds the public that we have an issue here. It reminds the public that there's a lot of people interested in helping with this issue.
"12 hours after taking off from Kentucky Dam Village, the boats are now back, lined up, ready to offload the hard-earned fruits of their labor. Some shot few fish, and others have several tubs full. But there is a consistent theme among the competitors.
How you doing?
Good, you?
How'd you guys do last night?
Not too good.
Not too good? It's a couple 100 pounds? Maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe, okay. Tough night?
A little slow.
A little slow. What, are you in the river or the lake? River. How'd you guys do? Any good?
Yeah, we killed some. Played a complete waste of the night.
Well,
there's always something that comes up, you know, something unforeseen that you'll run into that doesn't let you let things go the way that you planned a lot of times.
The storm played havoc on this competition, especially for those on the rivers. The water turned cloudy, making it hard to see fish much of the night. But halfway through the weigh-in, A hefty 585 pounds was on top of the Rivers division.
We have a lot of small silvers.
Oh, okay.
4 or 5 pounds, so.
Okay, well.
We'll see if a lot of them add up.
Well, that's true. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
But Team Descalin had yet to weigh in.
I need 47 more.
First place?
Y'all are in first. I needed you to break 1,000. Come on, guys. I need 14 more pounds. 1007.
Good job, guys.
Before the night started, did you guys as a team kind of come together and say, this is how many pounds it's going to take to win this?
We had an idea in our head. There's a lot of teams. There's a lot of good teams. There's 80 teams total, I believe, in this tournament. And there's teams from all over the United States.
Oh, yeah.
And then they come in early, they did their scouting, and they did their homework. So we knew we had to be on our game, had to do some good shooting.
With just a few boats left to weigh in, Team PMA leads the Lakes Division. But they knew that there was at least one team with a chance to knock them off. Well, how'd you guys do?
I guess for the conditions, pretty decent, but yeah, we weren't thinking it was great.
Yeah.
First.
About 1,000 pounds is leading it right now.
We'd be close.
I'd say it'd be right around there.
Okay.
What do you guess? Let's guess right now. What do you think is going to be? 850. I say it'd be around 1,000.
They're going to slow down fast for you guys to stay in the lead. This is going to be really, 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 really close.
Just those two?
No, 2 more after this.
Guys, I hate to say it, but you're out. 1104.
Wow! Talking about one miss or 2 misses. That is so close. It was 11 pounds.
This one was one that the stars kind of aligned on. Once I seen them other guys weigh in, I knew it was going to be real close.
Yeah.
With it being 11 pounds difference, that's a nail biter.
That is a nail biter.
That's a nail biter. Usually it comes down to, one fish. That one fish could have made us or break us.
Over 20,000 pounds of Asian carp were shot out of the waters of Kentucky and Barkley Lakes and their tailwaters.
Clearly see, how the Asian carp really started to take over, how invasive they actually are. So it was good to bring a lot of publicity to the media and to show a lot of the community, how much they're taking over.
It is a drop in the bucket of what's still out there, meaning that the future of bass, bluegill, crappie, and other native species is still at stake. The battle against Asian carp rages on. Now let's check in and see who's catching what and where in this week's fishing report.
This is Jeff Crosby with the Central Fishery District Fishing Report. Lake temperatures across the region are running in the low to mid 80s. Black bass are being caught at many of our area lakes, especially during early morning or late evening hours. You can concentrate your efforts using topwater baits during this time. Additionally, bass are being caught using crankbaits, tube jigs, or swim baits when fished along the shoreline or especially off main lake points. At Taylorsville Lake, blue cats are being caught using cut shad in 6 to 12 feet of water. You want to concentrate your efforts along the main river channel edges.
This is Adam Martin with your Western District Fishing Report. We've been observing good numbers of shad in both of the Twin Lakes this summer, which is a very welcome sight. Anglers wishing to ledge fish should watch the daily TVA discharge forecast to target forecasted periods of higher discharge, which can put the bass schools in more favorable orientations for anglers. Many anglers are still reporting good catches of white bass that are fat and healthy from chasing shad. Most are being caught while trolling with small white crankbaits on the secondary ledges. Below Kentucky Dam and Barkley Dam, catfishermen using cut bait have been reporting good catches of blue catfish.
Hi, this is Kevin Fry with your Eastern Area Fishing Reports. Channel catfish were stocked at Kingdom Come Lake this week. Also, area reports are fair to good for channel catfishing in lakes and streams. With the very hot weather, channel catfish results good in most areas, fishing on the bottom around 9 to 12 foot, with cut bait, crayfish, indoor chicken liver. Fish Trap Lake is producing very good results for blue catfish during the day on jugs and noodles at 10 to 13 feet. Bass fishing having best success at night along shorelines with brush or weeds on main lake or coves. Slow rolling spinner baits and crankbaits are working well at night. Crappie action has been slow during daytime, with most fish coming from 13 to 18 foot on tube jigs or minnows.
This is the time of year that many deer hunters start placing their stands and putting cameras out in anticipation for the fall. Don't forget those areas close to water and using that kayak or canoe in pursuit of venison. Ballard?
Good to see you, Chad.
Good to see you. Hey, thanks for letting us have permission to deer hunt out here this year. I am really excited about checking out this piece of property.
We're excited to have you out here with us.
Tell me a little bit about this property.
Well, the property, we bought it in 1995. We've been trying to manage it for wildlife. We try to harvest a lot of does. It's a Zone 1 county. We have a lot of a proliferation of does, and we try to shoot between 20 and 30 does every year.
For someone who hears you guys take 20 does, that sounds like a lot of does, but man, we just ran some cards looking at photos on some cameras. You really could stand to take more, because these deer are in great health. We've seen a lot of triplets, and deer can repopulate so fast.
Frankly, I like seeing big deer, big mature bucks. And I've found that if you don't keep a handle on your doe population, that it hurts that prospect.
Late September, we're starting to make the transition from our evening hunts being in the fields to a little more in the woods. We have a beautiful stand set right here. The problem with this set is it's at the end of a very narrow, about 300 yards long food plot. The only way to get to it is to walk down through the food plot or to cross this pond. The way the wind's blowing tonight is perfect. It's coming right out the food plot, and it'll blow my scent right over this pond, and I don't foresee a deer swimming to me, so I'm going in by canoe. I'm gonna canoe across this pond down a little ways. That'll get me right in close to my tree. My wind's gonna be blowing right from the food plot, right over the pond. It should be a perfect set. Super stoked about this. The weather's been really hot, and it's finally cooled off a little bit. So it's gonna get down in the 60s while we're in the woods. Deer should be moving. I just got in here and got settled in. This food plot is right up here, and that's where I expect the deer to be migrating to. I'm right on the edge of the woods. As you can see, right behind me is the water. So my wind is blowing right straight to where I came in from. If a deer comes between me and that water, it's gotta be really close, and if my wind blows out over the lake, I'm not too concerned about it. I'm expecting to see deer walk in around here and head right toward that food plot. This is a good spot to find a buck. But if a doe comes through by herself early, I will take it. I'll settle in, let the woods quiet. Hopefully I have some luck. out about 2.5 hours before dark. We're gonna let the wood settle back down and see what happens. Well, here she is. We saw this deer fall straight where we shot it. So, what a nice doe. We got in here this evening, came in by canoe, very quiet, had a very little scent trail. This deer comes in, and she was on this trail. Right when I took the shot, there's about a 5-foot difference between me and the camera, and unfortunately it was right behind a hickory tree. And we didn't get to see the impact, but the deer went down right there. Wow, did we see a bunch of deer tonight? They were everywhere. This spot is really, really hot. What an exciting hunt. I'm gonna get this deer, get it out, and be in the spot again soon. Same set that we killed a doe in last hunt. I'm hoping to see a lot of deer. Hopefully that big buck shows up. If a single doe shows up early in the hunt, I will take it. Wind is perfect. This should be a good hunt. Deer. Oh, here she is, right here. All right. Man, I'm shocked this deer went as far as it did with that shot. Very happy to have this deer. This is my third doe of the year. This will allow me to fill the freezer. I'll be hunting for antlers. We were buck hunting tonight after we took this deer. We had 2 bucks that came in on us. There's an 8-pointer and a 6-pointer, and they met right in front of us. I was worried that as much as they stayed around in front of us, that they may get below us and wind us. They never did. They kind of played around a little bit. Thank goodness we decided to put that stand in a location that's really not far from the water. We've had very few deer walk below us, and in a north wind like we're getting tonight, perfect. I tell you, the canoe is paying off. I'm gonna get this one out, get it in the canoe and get it back. I'm really excited to have this deer.
Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Here we have Jace Webster's first turkey taken in Warsaw, Kentucky. Nice job. Here we have Alex West of Wayne County with a really nice 11-point buck. Congratulations. Gunnar Rodas from Stanford, Kentucky caught this nice bass in his own farm pond. Nice job. 12-year-old Gretchen Teagarden killed this nice 10-point buck while hunting in Bracken County. Nice job. Check out how tall the tines are on this buck from Kelly Teagarden. This is a bow kill from 2017 taken in Bracken County. Nice job. Here we have a really nice buck taken by John Mason on his own farm in 2014. Nice job, John. Here's a beautiful crappie taken in Kentucky Lake by Patricia Nix while trolling. Nice job. Blake Arthur has been in the woods and on the water as he shows us his rock bass caught in Lake Shelby and his first dove taken in 2017. Nice job. Here we have a photo from the Kentucky Bear Hunters Association of a nice black bear taken during the 2017 season in Perry County. Nice job. Here we have Ron Sr., Ron Jr., and Hunter Gotterweiss. Hunter is holding his first buck ever while taken in Boone County, Kentucky. Nice job. Do you have a hunting or a fishing photo that you'd like to share? Well, Kentucky Afield is now accepting emailed photos of the ones that didn't get away. We will no longer accept photos sent through the mail. Email your photo to us at kyafield.ones@ky.gov. Are you planning a trip in the woods or on the water? Well, check out our YouTube page for helpful tips. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.